fucking MacBook, yeah. So, like, you know what? Are you still recording?
Bro, we're recording, bro.
Alright, content. Story time. We're boiling kettle. Listen, yeah. How can I buy a fucking MacBook, yeah? Comes, what? Fast delivery. I'm like, okay, cool, that's nice, that's calm. Get the MacBook, using it, fucking spontaneously turns off. What the fuck? And then I put what's it called? It's on. I'm like, okay, do you know what? It might be on low battery.
Yeah, bro.
So I put it on charge, and I'm like, okay, cool. So now it's on like 80 to 90 %.
Yeah.
It turns off again. So I'm like, nah. I'm pressing the button.
Two people I know that have broken MacBooks, bro. That's crazy.
This was a fucking boss as well, man.
Hey, this guy's having a bad day.
I'm having an awful day right now, man. I'm screaming out this road, think I care.
Where did you buy this MacBook from?
Music Magpie.
That sounds questionable.
No wonder it's turning off, bro.
Also, whoever's editing this, cut that off and don't give them no fucking slack for nothing. They're shit. Yeah, listen, yeah, basically.
Alright, bro, we're in the middle of a convo, bro.
Oh shit, sorry, can I join your convo?
Yeah, sure, bro. Alright, wait, what were we talking about?
That is too funny.
Alright, it was kind of serious. Alright, we were talking about like racism and colonialism and shit, and like, yeah, exactly, bro.
That's pretty interesting, bro.
Talking about some consumerism problems. I'm sorry, go on, carry on.
Yeah, them ones. Alright, where was we at, bro? Where was we at? I've totally lost track.
I remember even, bro.
Mike, you were saying something about the way you've been conditioned to think.
Yeah. So people are always conditioned to think like through certain ways, even black people to an extent, like because
It's true, yeah.
because it's not, because I feel like a lot of black people think that they're not conditioned because they learnt about like their race or like their history and stuff like that, yeah. But in reality, like, conditioning is not just like what you think, like it's literally in your like it's ingrained into your mentality.
Yeah.
So like it's something that you have to work to get out, yeah. Like I don't fucking know, like just the normal shit, literally just the normal shit, like getting money or whatever, like everything that we think that we value in like the society that we live in is like, would black people normally value those things? Would black
That's the question, isn't it?
Would black people normally value those things if we weren't like colonized and shit and all of that?
Yeah.
That's the way I
Bro,
feel it is.
it's like, actually, there was a film, what was that? I went to Tesco, Asda, like, what was it, 2 days ago, fam. And I was about to pay, I just bought cookies, innit? But for some reason, the machine must have added 10 bags in it. Like,
What?
10,
Huh?
What? Yeah, added 10 bags in it. So I told the woman,
£10,000.
oh no, bro, like 10 bags.
Oh, 10 bags. Oh.
Yeah, 10 bags, as in like 10, like you know, them bags for life thing. Yeah. So what's it called? I told the woman, some white woman in it, and I tell her, the what's it called? The machine says I have to pay for this. I don't want to pay for this shit. And I'm telling her to remove it and that. And then I can't lie, she could have removed it,
Yeah.
But she was just going round and round in circles, like she's trying to see I was trying to finesse them and that, fam. And
Fucking
even
hell.
after she removed it, she just watched me throughout the entire purchase of this.
Bro, the security guards watching is always a natural thing, bro.
Nah, not security guards, bro. None of the
No,
people
not even
that,
just
self-checkout.
just the
Yeah,
work.
not even
The
them, yeah.
self-checkouts.
Hey.
Just watching you,
You
bro.
know what,
Like,
I remember,
I can just tell what she's thinking, bro.
But like, something mad that happened today.
Wait, what happened?
I was in Leicester. I wouldn't say
Oh,
it's racially.
okay.
I wouldn't say it's racially motivated, but I was in a what's it called? I was in a breakfast place, Tim Hortons. About to eat some breakfast, right?
I went to a breakfast place, man.
And then a homeless
That's
some
a
guy.
Star.
There's a guy that offers to buy food for a homeless man, breakfast for a homeless man. Homeless man comes in. The guy suddenly says, "Nah, I don't want to buy it," and then he goes upstairs with his own meal. Someone else comes and buys the homeless man a meal, but there's a huge fight because the worker is refusing to serve the homeless
The
guy
homeless
food,
man. Shit.
even though someone's paid for it.
Man, classism, innit?
And I'm just sitting there like, raw, like, bro, like, just give the guy his food. Like, it's been paid for. Like the worker is going to the extent of like, I'll refund you. Whoever bought him food, I'll refund you. But I'm not serving this guy.
That's what I mean. Like that's what I mean. That The perception
But
is so
I'll be
deep.
real, the homeless,
But, like,
the homeless guy went a bit mad because at the end,
it's
after he got his food, imagine I'm sitting upstairs eating with a man. Them, he got his food. He went upstairs. Went to the guy that originally said he was gonna buy him food, and that's the reason why the whole argument started. And then he just started saying, "Hey, you can't do that to a homeless man. You know, you can't promise them you're gonna buy them breakfast." And
But
then
like,
buy
I
them
feel like
breakfast."
he's not wrong for
And he
that.
said, "Yeah, no,
But
but he
to be
said,
honest-
no. That's not even the worst part. He said, I'm going to smash you. I'm going to smash you." He said, "I'm going to smash you. I'm just eating breakfast here. I'm here. I'm going to smash you. You're so lucky. You're so lucky." And then he was like, and then he left, and then he was like, you can't do that." And I agree with the homeless man. You can't do that. That's a vibe.
Yeah, that's
And then
wrong,
he left. And he came back. He's like, "So you're not gonna apologize to me, yeah? Yeah. I'm waiting for you outside. I'm not gonna. You won't see me coming." I was like, "Oh my days!" I'm real. The guy stayed in the shop for like 2 hours, bro. He did not leave. He did not leave.
Yo, what the
The homeless
fuck?
guy was the homeless man, fam.
Innit, man?
And even the staff member, yeah, I think he was so petty because he was like, "I want you to say sorry, and then I'll give you your food." And I'm just there like,
Rah, mad.
bro,
Mad.
bro, we're
Nah,
like,
that's wild.
That's too grown for
That's
this
that's
now,
back to the
man.
other conversation, fam. Power control,
Yeah,
fam.
it's an
Power
example.
control.
Power.
what's that?
Nah,
I'm
that's
we're
what
too
it is,
grown
man.
for this, bro.
What are you saying, though?
But yeah,
Nah, that's wild.
it's just,
That's-
I was
nah.
looking at it like, it's just mad.
Wait,
It's mad,
Bakri, did
man.
I tell you about the time the security guard was moving bare mad to me and a few people at the library? Okay.
Nah. But
Keep
the
this in
security
mind.
guard's dodgy, you know.
Fam.
That's my people.
Before you start the story, is the security guard black?
No, he was of European descent.
Oh, and what ethnic origin are you?
Oh, I'm a man. I'm African. I'm black. I don't like saying
Okay.
black, but yeah, I'm black still. What
So
happened?
you don't like staying why you're black, or
No, I don't like saying black. I'll be real.
oh,
I get that.
All right.
Yeah, sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. It depends who I'm around.
Hear that?
That's me being honest. But yeah, so we were in the library, and then what happened? So we were just chilling, and then the security guard comes over and says, "Yeah, you guys are making a bit of noise." And I say to him, like, "What about everyone else?" He was like, No, we got to complain about you guys specifically." I'm like, "Okay, cool, yeah, we'll stop." And then I'm looking him in the eyes. He says this. I think that upset him. Then he looks at everyone. He says, "Can I see all your IDs, please?"
Whoa.
I said, "What?
Wait, by the way, if you're in the library,
You need to have ID to get
you
in."
obviously have your ID.
Yeah.
I just need to point that out because you can't go into the library without your ID.
Yeah.
So if you're in the librrie,
you can
you
use
have your
anybody
ID.
else. You can use anybody's else ID, right, to get in, right?
I mean, true, theoretically,
Yeah.
theoretically true. But
Yeah.
it doesn't really make sense for you to ask someone, "Can I see your ID?" It's like asking to see someone's ID once they're inside the club.
Yeah, it's a power move, isn't it?
Yeah.
For him to kind of show us, yeah, don't say this.
Yeah.
I'm
But here's
here,
the
you're
here's the
here.
thing, yeah. Here's the thing, like, do you think that like
Harvey
people
does
do
all
you,
the time
do you,
with Suits,
do you think
man.
that people would ever be able to change that type of shit, like do you think that that type of mentality that's ingrained in people,
I'll be very honest.
like
I'll tell you guys.
obviously because we talk about
I think-
racism and shit, bro, but like
I think there's some people who just the stereotypes that they have, or their views on like certain genders, races, all of that. It just sticks with them, like regardless. Like, people judge you on what they see first before that. Because like I'm not like saying it's right, but what I'm saying is that when people see you, they see like your physical appearance first before they see your personality.
yeah.
So I can walk into a shop all hoodied up and that. I'm definitely not gonna rob the place. But I know that it's happened before. I've walked into a shop and the security guard, he's tracking me, bro. He's tracking every movement. He activates UAV, bro, following me around because he knows. Like, just because I'm wearing a hood and that.
Yeah.
No, but I see you dressed though. You dressed like a road man, bro.
But that's the problem,
that's
though.
the thing.
That's the problem,
Bro,
bro.
but it's just-
Why do we need to follow me because I'm dressed like a road man, fam? Why
I'm
does he?
dressing up. I'm comfortable in a hoodie and tracksuit and trainers. Do I have to wear a
Boy,
suit?
they'd say he's stylish.
Word. Do I have to wear a suit for you to allow me to shop in peace?
Exactly,
And
bro.
even if he wore a suit, they might think he got the suit through fraud.
Word. I'll be thinking, I rented out this suit.
Yeah,
I
right.
got this
Yeah.
suit through fraud. I
That's
just
what
came
I'm
out
saying,
for a
bro.
job interview.
Bro, and when I tell you, even like this is just the stuff that we see on the outside. But when I tell you, it goes way deeper than this.
It does go
For example, the industry that I work in, yeah, photography and film and shit, yeah, all of that, bro.
Come on.
Bro. When I say the simplest thing, which is light, yeah. I remember. Shout out to Chris, yeah. This guy, he was having a conversation.
Our guy Chris.
Them ones.
Chris.
He was the one talking to like Donnies like me about this, yeah. Which was that like, if you think of how cameras are made and shit, and the way light is produced and like film and all of that, yeah, it's made by white people, innit? It's made by white people, and it's geared in a way where like it's created and built around white people, around filming white people, made by white people, yeah. So when I light something up, yeah, let's say a black person is on the camera, yeah, lighting is not built for a black person. For example, lighting is meant, this lighting right here on the camera, yeah, is meant to make my type of skin color or brand skin color, yeah, look good. Like if I put the same type of lighting that's on my skin onto yours Kruger or yours Bax, yeah, it would not look as good because it's not made for that. Like inherently, like technology and shit, all of that shit is not made for black people.
I'll be real. I'll just say it out there, innit? When I take pictures,
bro, it's the same way. The camera on your phone, bro. The camera on your phone.
Like using light, I've never seen it as a way of like it's just for me to be seen. If that makes sense.
Exactly, bro.
if that makes sense. Like it's never a thing. It's not. Nah, all jokes aside, it's never a case of like like I want your skin to pop or whatever. It's just so like my face can actually show.
Exactly.
You can see it's me. So I get what you're saying.
And that's why yeah, like all of that shit, like and that's just a small thing. That's like one aspect that affects so much shit in like a whole industry.
It's a generic
Now
question.
think about society, innit? Society is built around that. The TV shows you watch, the books that you read.
All of that technology, fam. You see what your boy Mark Zuckerberg is doing in store, fam.
What Meta?
Yeah, fam. I can't lie, cause I study cybersecurity in at uni, innit? So we always talk about this type of shit, fam. Like,
you man are all big into tech.
Them ones, bro, in some type of way.
I would say I'm the least tech here out of these guys.
Yeah. Definitely.
I can't lie, man.
Definitely, yeah.
What the metaverse and that?
You always stare into screens.
Look at this guy. Look at this
Ryan,
guy, bro.
you're too comfortable.
Look at this guy getting comfy for it, bro.
I'm just deep in the convo, bro.
Them ones, bro.
Speaking as much, I'm just deep in the convo.
Them ones, interesting.
I mean, are you right with like getting like chip implants and shit in your brain and shit? Like,
nah, I wouldn't do that.
Obviously, the question that I was gonna ask, obviously, I've been asked it a couple times, and my answer changes every now and again.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know. Is it suitable for me to ask this question? The question was gonna be, just in case Mike get ready to cut this out. The question was gonna be, like, it was two. The first thing is, would you ever marry a white person, or be in a relationship with a white person?
hell no! Hey, what? I can't lie. Hey, bro, that's gonna be in a different topic still, man. Because
No. Wait, I want to ask this. Let me ask this.
It was either that question or the other question I was gonna ask was is it would you lot still stay with a partner if they cheated on you? And do you guys think cheating is ever acceptable?
What? Nah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You see the first part to that question. I actually thought.
FBI got him down, man.
Yo,
CIA.
they got him down, bro.
Hey, yo, Mike, what's the time?
So it's
How long?
it's on 1 hour 10. I'll just do some voiceover at the start, son, innit?
Yeah. Mike will cover it.
Because you're Sean.
Might as well make the most out of Sean, innit? Yeah.
Yeah. Come on,
That's what
bro.
make the most out of
Hella
Sean.
interesting combos, bro. We need this
We
content.
might not catch Sean again, you know. Might make the most out of Sean.
Nah, I'd like to come back, man.
Nah, definitely, bro.
No,
Definitely.
for sure.
Even if you're just down to talking, like just clearing the Discord and talk about this shit more, like
No, when I go back home, I'm my PS4, innit?
them ones, bro.
But
You playing PS4?
yeah, I play a bit.
Oh.
Jeez, man. Like,
Nah, you Mark, we play story mode games a lot.
my guy. What's your favorite one so far? What's your favorite one currently?
Of all time, it's The Last of Us.
The last
That I
Us?
played recently, God of War. I started again from the beginning.
God of War's a
'cause I was
shot.
like, nah, because I wanted to fight all the Valkyries again.
Damn, bro, that's a that's a long thing still.
It is, because I remember, you know what, yeah?
That's the end
Even
game shit.
that game frustrated me. There's certain points, like, you know when they're coming up in that lift and it goes through all the different realms?
Oh yeah.
I hated that bit so much because of Alfheim. All the L's. Like, I was dying. I remember I was on that for maybe an hour, just dying.
Damn, bro. Yeah.
But no, like I thought, you know what, this is difficult, but it's satisfying once you complete.
It
like,
is
all the
very
Valkyries.
satisfying. That's why I like.
Oh,
I be playing
the
shit
last
like.
one.
I be playing shit like. I mean, I'm hella like that innit. So I play Dark Souls. And that. I play that type of
Fam, I
stuff.
never played Dark Souls. I've heard it's good. My brother was even telling me.
It's
I should jump on
really,
it.
really good. It's one of them ones like it will fuck you up a lot,
Jeez.
but like
Mhm.
the satisfaction from like getting from like overcoming that shit or like beating your first boss and like all of that,
Yeah.
crazy
I'm
crazy
gonna
hit,
have to
bro,
get that.
crazy hit, like
Nah.
crazy.
I may have to jump on that.
No, definitely.
But
definitely.
no,
I'm
man.
a multiplayer guy, if I'm being honest.
Everyone else here is probably multiplayer guys. Haven't
I played some single player games.
What
did play single player
single
games.
player games do you play, Gordon?
Bro, let me show you my
Control.
screen, bro.
He's gonna say Control. I know he's gonna say Control.
What single player games does
Oh,
this guy
I've
be
seen that
playing?
before. Control actually looks
I
cold.
play Control.
Other than Control, what have you played?
I've played Life is Strange.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's very
I've played
recent.
Alan Wake.
How
Remastered.
long have you played Alan Wake?
Took 20 minutes. I still played it.
20 minutes, yeah.
I still
What?
played it, bro.
Just started it. Looked at the controls and that, locked it off.
Damn, bro.
You saw me play Poppy Playtime.
Probably
Oh,
playtime. That
hey.
horror game.
Bakri, you see the video I sent you?
Five
This
Nights.
guy, yeah, when we were playing Poppy Playtime,
Bro, probably play. I actually want to play that. That looks like a.
What is that?
It's a horror game.
a horror game.
Oh,
So I feel
it's a
I'm
very weird name for a horror game.
them ones, bro.
Poppy Playtime.
I'm
Yeah.
probably
Right,
gonna
is
try
that
that.
your dog? Is that your puppy, right? Your dog?
Yeah, I feel like I can see some tail in the background or something.
Yo, innit? Yeah.
What?
What's the name of the monster in that game? Huggy Wuggy. Yeah, Huggy Wuggy.
Oh, shit.
Fam? Nah.
Fucking hell. But yeah,
No games like that.
I mean, like, I'm a single player guy. I've gotten like more into multiplayer games lately, mainly because of these
I
ones,
mean,
innit?
hey,
Like,
COD doesn't count, man.
Competing is fun.
COD will never.
Competing is very
Competing
fun.
is fun, and that's why I play fighting games now. They're my main game that I play still.
I agree.
Fighting games are too good, bro. They're too good.
Yeah, no one wants to smoke with me on chess. The best multiplayer game
That's
ever.
the best fighting game ever, fam. Man like chess still. Bare music.
I'll
and shit.
swap you on chess though, I can't lie.
Chess was yeah.
Bro, I'd be down to have a chess tournament. Fam.
Hey, real quick, do you not want to hear what I was going to say about white women, or are you not doing that?
Yeah, nah, go on.
Yeah.
Go on, bro.
Yeah,
Go on,
go
bro.
on.
I actually want to hear about this. I want to hear about
The
this.
question is, would you ever be in a serious committed relationship with
Are we still recording?
Yeah.
with a white person?
Okay. Why you say white person? I'm straight, bro.
What?
So just to put it, because you say white person, implying that it's either be male, female, or the other. But anyways,
Oh, we don't discriminate, innit?
yeah,
Yeah, come on, man. Back is part of the LGBTQ.
Hey.
So, you know.
Let's not do that.
Listen, I'm dyslexic, so I don't like letters in the alphabet, alright? So
What?
that LG,
Let's move on. Let's
I know, bro. I know you're straight, bro. Just white women. Go on.
white women, they're just
Caucasians.
okay, no discrimination. You know what it is, yeah? You see white women, yeah?
Yeah.
Have you noticed that they're probably one of the most saltiest individuals in this planet? Like, think about this, yeah. Initially, you have Karens. And to be honest, yeah, I think this correlates with that as well, because when you think about it, with white women are probably the most spiteful type of women there is, because they're the one that are literally devoid of culture of any sort.
You know, okay, that part ain't wrong, but like, I mean,
Any culture.
I mean, actually, that brings another argument. Do you think white people have culture?
I'd say so, yeah. Actually, no. I'd say white people don't.
Like
I would
pure
say
white people.
If you're like English, Scottish, like the actual area where you're from, yeah. But in terms of whiteness, nah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like
I agree
culture,
with that answer.
culture based on the race doesn't, I don't think, exists
Yeah,
for
it
white
doesn't
people.
make any sense.
But
If
I
I'm
already
being
see-
honest,
You see when you
you guys
say
might get
white,
onto me
yeah.
for this.
You see when you
Go on.
say white, what includes in like.
That's what I was
white?
about to say.
I think white British.
White
Because
Colombian.
for yourself.
You can say I'm white, but like, is it
Nah.
because of my skin color or white since like
With
Some people
with
say
race,
race,
bro,
What other way are you white?
like in terms of how I act? Because
Oh no, you definitely don't act like that.
you can say that there's some people that can act white. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm
But that's
sure
also-
you've seen someone that's black, but you're kind of
Oh,
like they're kind
that-
of. It doesn't make sense, but
That's
this
like
is the
a
thing though. But
that's
I
like a
think just,
mag.
Wait.
No, go on, go on.
Now go on.
I was just gonna say, yeah, that in and of itself is a microaggression, isn't it? Like the fact that, let's say, for example, I was to talk a bit more with my, pronounce my T's and cross my I's and stuff like that. Like if I was talking like that, people will come up to me and say, "Oh, you're talking proper." That in and of itself is like an example of colonization and the fact that we're like look at I don't know, like Jamaican and some languages in West Africa that use broken English with their accents. When you think about it, they're told that even to call it broken English is kind of mad because it's like,
That's true.
What?
It depends on like what you view as like white in the first place. I think is what
Yeah.
you're trying to say. Like,
Yeah.
like
because when you
No, but wait, no. I'll be real with you, man. Brian actually did ask a very important question because I'm still thinking about it now. Because obviously, Brian's white, but Brian has culture. In both whiteness and the fact that he's from Colombia and that, if that makes sense.
but that's not white
Well,
culture. I wouldn't say.
This is the thing, innit? With whiteness, even though sperm is also fluid to an extent, so whiteness is more so to do with power. So Frantz Fanon, very brilliant guy. He said something once. He was like, "You're white because you're rich, and you're rich because you're white." That's usually how it is. So it's like whenever you see someone who's black and they're rich, you're usually more likely to say that they're acting white or they're white. Like even in Kenya, we have a term for it. It's called Mzungu. If you're rich, like, oh yeah, you're a Mzungu now. If you live in England, you're a Mzungu. It's your association with whiteness. Hence why you can actually have white skin, like Italians. They weren't considered white until the 1950s. The Irish, they weren't considered white until recently as well.
That's true. I know about that.
this guy
It's
is
really not.
spitting, bro. You're my friend now.
So yeah, it's clearly not the skin color. Same thing I think with black women. Like I've always questioned people who say, I'm with someone because they're like, you find them attractive because of their race. I don't think it's the attraction.
Yeah.
It's more so what that race represents. So like the black women, if you see the way people treat black women, it's not that black women are ugly. It's the way they're treated in society. And for a lot of men, the woman is an extension of themselves. So it's like, hold on, let me not go for the woman who's looked down in society. Let me go for the white woman, the woman where if something goes bad to her, she cries. Like it's a phenomenon called what's called white women's tears. She cries. It's the end. That's like the worst thing you can ever do, make a white woman cry. The black woman,
It's actually true, you know.
she needs to firm it.
Yeah,
Do you know
she
what I
gotta be
mean?
Strong and all of that, yeah.
So yeah, that's really, if I'm being honest. The only reason I
be
won't
honest.
even be with a white woman is more so political rather than attraction.
I hear that. No, that's
I
that's
went
quite
on a
interesting.
date
yeah.
with one white girl, she'll not be in a That's
Fuck
another
you,
story.
Yo,
Wait, what?
man just had to throw that in there, you know, like end up dating.
That's mad.
Wait,
Man-
what did he say?
He dated a white girl one time. She ended up being a.
Yeah. Okay, can we bleep this out, please? I'll tell the story.
You know what? Yeah, the informal reason for me as to why I would never date a white girl is because one of my guys told me that when he fucked a white girl, it looked like raw chicken.
My mouth's open because I know no one can see it. Mad.
That is extremely immature.
Yeah, that was, you know what that is, like, bit like aside from the actual main and political reason, like that. My guy, what's your name? Sorry,
Sean.
That Sean explained, and even
Wait,
like my explanation.
Is it Sean with like SHAWN?
SEAN.
Ooh, okay. So,
Yeah.
No, let's have a conversation about that because, like, I want to understand, yeah, how a single S makes the sound.
I have
I
no
can't like,
idea.
you know Shauna Boy, fam. Shauna
Yeah.
Boy is SEUN, isn't it, fam?
Yeah,
And no Sean that's SHAWN as well, fam.
yeah.
Mad. Nah, I don't like it sometimes because I work at, isn't it? Bleep that out as well. I'll get aunties call me, is your name Sean? I'm like, nah, bro.
I said Sean.
Oh,
What the
yeah.
fuck, bro? What the fuck, man?
Hey, bro, you say that Shona boy, if he finds you, bro, you're finished, you know. You say if you say show, once you show.
Yeah, show.
Yeah, bro.
Nah,
I don't
man.
want him to hear that, bro.
Like the CEO of the name Sean must have had like reverse this because how can you make that noise with the S? Like, no offense to you, my name's Doyle. Yeah.
Oh man, Doyle, you know. I've never met a Doyle in my life.
Nah, bro.
Man.
What are you talking about?
Crazy.
What are you talking about? The name is Doyle, bro.
Nah, bro.
This guy's too funny.
Shit, bro.
Doyle.
What was
Wait, okay, so what do they call you?
Doyle, bro?
Oily.
Shut up.
Man.
I'm joking.
Hey,
Hey, my
where you
name's
from,
Zachary,
Doyle?
bro.
Come
I
on.
held bakery for years. Don't worry.
Where
Man,
are
the
you from,
bakery
Doyle?
Won't kill me.
I'm from Congo.
Bakery, you know.
From Congo. Okay.
Yeah.
Bro, I went through it in secondary school, bro. I went through it. I'll be real.
I'm telling you,
Yeah.
Sean. I'm telling you, it makes no sense. I don't know. If I could explain to you, then I would, but it doesn't make sense to me either.
Doyle, you know. Mad. Congo's got some good history though. I still can't. Nah. Really, Doyle. You know, fair enough. It's your name, innit? Alright, let me not ask for your gov on here. Nah, you know what though?
But yeah.
that is my gov.
older brother's Congolese. He's not like we're not related by blood, but he's like an older brother figure. Yeah, he's Congolese.
Doyle is my government name. That's my first name.
I meant your last name.
Whoa, okay,
Oh.
that needs to be on there. Yeah.
Yeah, mad. That's crazy.
Imagine the name's Doyle.
Do. Mario.
But what I will tell you is see how my app or what I go by on Insta, my alias is Étranger Noir.
Yeah.
So that means black stranger. That translates to black stranger, and my name also means black stranger.
What Doyle means
Ah.
black stranger.
Yeah.
That's cold.
That is
Thank
very
you.
cool.
That's cold.
My surname, I don't even care because evil. My surname,
Is it?
yeah.
That sounds hard.
What does that mean?
Actually, I've never checked.
But you still search out the meaning of that still.
Why increase it?
My last name's and that means
this is another part to cut out. I'm saying that, bro.
My last name is like.
Shut. Why are you doing that? Why? Are you... This fucking dickhead, bro.
Mine's I'm not saying mine. I'm just deep.
Yeah, exactly, bro. Not like back.
The only reason I like mine is the meaning behind my name is cold. It means the one who shines the brightest.
That's hard.
That is cold.
It's cold.
But no, I'm just not saying mine because I will happily say my surname. Everyone here knows my surname.
Yeah, them
It's just what's it called? Yeah.
I mean, Michael's probably gonna mute anyway, so.
I don't want to give
Michael.
Michael more work, but yo, Michael.
Hey, bro, I can't lie. Michael has what? How much?
Bro, these are just cuts, fam. I don't care about this shit.
Yeah, my surname still. I don't know what it means.
This shit is
Sorry.
like,
Apparently, the name means sensuous, bitter, and ardent. I don't know what the fuck all three of those mean.
mad.
Define.
My surname is the most generic. Like, bro, you know the cream.
Oh yeah, I just think
Yeah,
that,
bro.
that is a very esque name.
It's so funny because when I talk on the phone, yeah, they think I'm a white person, innit? So they give me treatment. Then when I go there in person, yeah, they're like, wait, Godwin, can Jordan come? Because my name's Godwin, innit? So like, can Godwin? And then they don't look, and then they see me, yeah, and they're like,
Mad.
yeah. And then, yeah, that's when they start pretending and shit, fam. So,
Nah, you know what? That happened to my mum one time because at one point we had private healthcare. My mum went with this old white lady. The old white lady gave my mum a lift to go to the hospital. And at private, what's called hospitals, they'll like, what's the name? The matron nurse or whatever. I forgot what the exact term is. Who will come up and they'll say, "Well, go on." Is it matron or something like that? They said the head nurse will come up and say hello.
Yeah.
The what's called the head nurse came up and said hello to the white lady, saying, "Oh, are you the what's it called? Are you the patient?" And then the lady was like, "Nah, it's her." The embarrassment on the lady's
bro, I
face.
can't lie. That must be that's such an L. Such an L.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's
To be honest, I've done that before, innit? But not on a racial standpoint. I've just done it because it was dumb.
if you were
I
just
was
saying
just being very dumb.
I went to his house party recently, and I was like, "Oh, are you such and such's grandma?" She was like, "Nah, I'm her aunt." Yeah. I didn't even.
Said grandma, you know.
Yeah, I
Can't
didn't even know what to
can't
say,
lie,
bro.
Can't lie, bro. Grandma is the riskiest guest, bro. You can't
Yeah,
make.
I can't lie,
you
I
can't
never
make,
guess grandma,
you
bro.
can't make someone feel like they're old, bro. That's the main thing, bro.
I always play it safe and say sister or aunt, bro. I always play it
Yeah,
safe
bro.
and say sister or aunt. If it's their mum, they look young, they'll take it as a compliment. If it's their grandma, they look young, they'll take it as a compliment. So on and so forth.
Them ones, bro.
Nah, I wish I could turn back time in that moment, bro.
I wonder, what do you do? What do you do in them type of situations? Like,
I don't know,
if
you
get it
know.
wrong. You just have to awkwardly smile from it, just quickly switch it up.
Don't know, bro. That's
Yeah.
spots, man.
I mean,
Well, my second question to you, man, is, would you?
Oh shit. Hold on. What's it called? That's just deep what you just said, fam. Yeah, the reason why I wouldn't date a white person, yeah, is because
Yeah, you can't answer that.
yeah,
This
Sean.
guy froze in time.
It was Sean's example still that he used. Oh no, actually, well then again, you said no. You said you had a bad experience because of she came up.
you know what? Yeah, I'll be real. I don't think. Nah, this thing I always say is a joke, because she wasn't even really into it like that. Bleep this out again, please.
Of course.
But
Yeah.
the what's it called? Now for me, it's just because I know some of the beliefs I have now will make her uncomfortable. That's me being real. And just
Okay.
like certain things, like raising my kids in certain environments. So like when I was in sixth form, no, not even sixth form, in secondary school. I'm not gonna say the school. Fam, I had 2 bad racial encounters. First one, don't call me a nigger. That one was mad. I wasn't even too upset about that one, I'll be real. I felt some type of way, but I was like, The second one was the mad one. Someone told me, if you don't shut up right now, I'm gonna hang you and lynch you like they did to your ancestors.
What the fuck?
Explain to me
Fucking hell,
how
bro.
someone said that to me, and I ended up getting it.
In secondary school.
Of
Secondary
course,
school.
of
Secondary
course you
school.
do, bro.
Hey,
Of course.
DM me your secondary school real quick. I just want to research it real quick.
Nah, I will. I actually will.
It can't be central. Like, it can't be central.
Nah, I live in bleep this out again. I live in.
Ooh.
Yo,
Yeah.
okay.
No, but to be honest, like, as much as I'm surprised, I'm not surprised, bro. Like, bro, kids,
Yeah.
bro, that one
didn't
encounter in
raise-
COD, that one
Raise-
encounter that we had on Call of Duty changed for me, my view on just people in general.
What people like be thinking?
You
And
know
shit.
when we were playing and the guy was like, like imagine having to fight for your rights, and then they'll just
Yeah, all that
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Bro,
all of that
That was
stuff.
Bro, when
Those
you
black-
When Raj was there.
them ones when you go out,
a rush.
Nah, he wasn't on
Yeah,
that.
Raj was there.
when
There
you
was another situation.
Oh no, I know what you mean though.
That was a
wasn't
different one. That was a different
Yeah.
one.
We posted on our YouTube channel still like when that guy was going.
Yeah, we exposed
he was
them.
getting hella hand, bro.
Good God.
You realize that
But
when
do
you
you know what I mean,
go
innit?
out, when you
Like-
go outside your circle and you see like what other people think.
Exactly.
That's what I'm saying. We only think like a lot of people in like society, especially on internet, like they think that it's all getting like it's all karma and shit, and like people supporting each other.
Yeah.
But when you actually look outside your own circle and shit, like people are exactly the same as they've been, bro. Like
Yeah.
it's
Nah, I really
exactly as they
can't
are.
get too with
I
that
can't
white
lie,
person,
man.
bro.
Evil is
That's
ingrained
because of
within
the-
us, bro.
Because of the negative
say that.
schemas that happens with like if I'm a white person, yeah, they're gonna feel like, are you being held under your will, bruv? Like have I kidnapped this white girl or some shit? I don't want to be in that position, bro.
Nah, I think it's all the kids,
It's
innit?
just simple factors like that.
Yeah,
fam.
the
The
kids.
kids will go through it as well.
The kids, yeah, that's one thing I've
Kids will
never
go through it.
really wanted to deal with.
Father's white, your mom's black, this and that.
Well, like having like a kid in this like society specifically.
Yeah, because I don't know. This is the thing though. If it was a white girl who was, I'm using this term, conscious, innit? Like I know do you guys know who Akala is?
Oh yeah.
Who?
I follow him on Twitter.
Akala. Akala is a very smart brother.
He's
Probably one of the
really,
smartest people I've ever
really,
seen in my
yeah,
life.
he probably is one of the smartest people I've ever seen as well.
He's half white, half black, innit?
Yeah, I'm
But
pretty sure.
his white mum was like, okay, cool. He's mixed, but society's gonna see him as black anyway.
Them ones.
I can't teach him how to deal with this stuff. So she put him in a Pan-African Saturday school. So every Saturday, he went and him and his sister got taught by black people, his history, stuff like that. If my wife was willing to do things like that, fair enough. But if it's a thing of,
Wait, but Sean, can I ask? Just
yeah,
quickly,
go on.
I'm just playing devil's advocate here. I agree with what you're saying. I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Do you think it's fair that like if you had if you had a kid with a white person, that they automatically have to, you know, like learn about like Black history and all of that stuff. Obviously, everyone should learn about it, but I'm asking from the point of like,
what, like, of like a parent
as
or
a white person,
or a
yeah, as a like, let's say your wife
or
for
a
example.
partner.
Say your wife or your partner, whoever you had the kid with.
Mm.
Like, obviously, if I had a kid with a white person, I want them to, you know, learn about Gambia or learn about whatever. But they have to learn about the other side as well.
This is the thing though,
That's what I'm
Bakri. They'll
saying.
learn about that in school anyway.
True, but you know, learning from school. This is just my take.
Yeah.
Up until secondary school's finished, I think, like, you know, me personally, anyway, I never really learned from it. Started learning from sixth form. I started realizing stuff from sixth form. But my point is, I feel like in a situation like that, it will cause a real identity crisis for the child. That's just.
I don't think it
I know
would.
what you mean, innit?
I
But
based
the kid is
based on
technically
how-
both.
I actually
Based on
don't
how
think it would.
society treats
Nah, here's why I don't.
mixed race
here's why-
children as well.
Here's why I don't think it would, yeah, because I think that that's already the case because it's not taught properly. I think because it's
Yeah.
taught late, I think people already have that crisis. Whereas if it was taught early and children were taught about it earlier, and they learnt about the way that the world works and the way shit works, then they're not gonna be as susceptible and influenced by like all these different tactics that keep people thinking a certain way. For example, if you're gonna teach your kid about Black history, like I said, if nowadays obviously we know ourselves about like certain pieces of history, but even we don't know everything because we haven't researched anything and we haven't gone to go research anything because we haven't been inclined to. The reason we haven't been inclined to is because it's been put in our minds that we don't need to know that. That's not normal. Yeah. Whereas if it was already in our minds from the jump that like, yeah man, you should learn about your history, you should learn about your ancestry, all of that shit, yeah. All these things, yeah.
But
Past shit like
teaching-
slavery.
teaching kids about sex at the age when you're in nursery and kindergarten, like, that's a priority.
Yeah.
Bro. As a kid, need to know about that
That's
shit.
true, yeah.
That's mad.
Like,
Still.
whereas-
the education
yeah.
system is extremely screwed. But
I think it's just all
the
fun,
whole
but
identity crisis thing. Like, I see mixed race kids on social media and they're always like raising the question, like, am I allowed to say the N-word? Am I allowed to do this? Am I allowed to do that?
and that's because I
All
think
that sort of stuff.
that's because I think they've only learned about that shit at that age.
But
Imagine.
I think,
Yeah, go on.
I think no. I was just saying, like,
You man are very polite here. I like this. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah, it's just like, I hear it because like an identity crisis. Everyone suffers it. Like for me, I don't think being mixed race automatically means you're gonna suffer an identity crisis because there's mixed race people out there that just go about their business and they know what they are and they know the deal. Basically, is what I'm trying to say.
Mm.
But for me, when it comes to the education thing, I think just don't specifically focus on one or something else, but just educate as a whole.
Okay,
makes
can I challenge
Yeah.
you then, Bakri?
Yeah, you can. I'm just playing devil's advocate, man.
No,
That's
I know
cool,
you. I know you are.
cool.
Yeah,
Ah, cool.
I know you are. A lot of Black history is British history, though.
True.
So it's like, okay, cool. This is some trivia for everyone. £100, whoever gets this right. No Google allowed.
Have you
What
asked
was
me
the
this
first
No.
country?
No Google.
Bakri, you can't answer. What was the
No
first country
Google
to
allowed.
abolish slavery?
To what?
To abolish
Abolish
slavery.
slavery.
To what, sir,
He's
bro?
typing it on Google, man.
Abolish.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm doing. I Gordon can't
Abolish
answer. I already know he's typing.
Look at that, look at this second monitor. Look at that second monitor.
Hey,
My keyboard is here, bro. It's all the way far away from me, bro.
Country in Africa, innit?
Anyone?
That's
Bro,
country to
I
abolish
feel like
slavery, bro.
To abolish slavery.
Nigeria.
I don't know. Fucking.
I'm saying my own country.
Bro,
still.
England does that. Oh shit.
I'm saying my own country still.
Nigeria. Nigeria.
Nigeria.
I'm alright.
It's
It's
Nigeria.
It's not.
Not Nigeria.
Oh, you, man.
It's Nigeria.
I thought you
Like,
said-
Okay. I'm not giving anyone £100. Sorry, I ain't got that kind of money. It's in the Caribbean.
Oh,
In the
Jamaica.
It's in the Caribbean.
I was thinking it was Jamaica. Is it not?
Haiti. Oh,
Nah. He said it was
Yeah,
Haiti.
I just realized I wasn't.
Nah, it's
Dominican
Haiti.
Republic.
That was at the time it was just at the time it was the Dominican Republic as well, but Haiti. That is an example of them actually hiding that piece of history, because for so long, me as a black person, I thought, nah, they let us free. With Haiti, they went and they killed all the slave masters. They drove them out. They defeated Napoleon and the British. That is a part of British history. Yeah, we lost to the Haitians, and it's the reason why they're in their state today, innit? That's, if me knowing that now, I can't lie, it made me think, right, like, we actually,
true.
what's it called? We're all right. Do you know what I mean?
Because for me,
Yeah.
it was always, I always looked at it like the abolishment. Was that the word? Am I saying it
Abolition.
Yeah, abolishment. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, the abolishment of slavery started with what's his name?
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah. For me,
Yeah.
I was always taught throughout that it was Abraham Lincoln, and until we held that Black History Month
Yeah.
event, I didn't actually know that it was like Haiti.
Nah,
I
man.
didn't know about Haiti or anything like that. So it was just mad. Still, it was just mad.
Nah, it's Toussaint Louverture. That's his name.
Yeah, to
You-
celebrate.
yeah, like he's only read it.
Matt, I know you remember. We learned about him in history.
Yeah, we did. Still, yeah.
We did.
Toussaint
We actually,
Louverture.
yeah, we learned about him in history.
Yeah.
Shit, man.
Wow.
But nah, like, it's mad because it's like they haven't like had the own martial art, like machete, fencing. It's mad.
Fucking
They
hell,
fully did. I was just thinking, right, like they
I was
actually
still
did
laughing
this.
like that.
I said machete, fam.
Machete
If that
fencing,
ever
yeah.
reaches South London, it's wrapped.
Bro, that should be crazy.
Nah, but you see what I mean? Like things like that. Now
But-
on the mixed race thing
Yeah,
that Bakri
yeah.
was saying,
Yeah, I was gonna
think-
get back to that as well. But go on.
the conflict for them would be society treats me like this as a black person, but at the same time I know I'm just not black, and I think that's maybe where the issue would come in,
Yeah.
because it's like, okay, cool, I know I'm not just black, but then when I go outside, the white kids may not want to hang out with me. Some of the black kids aren't being as nice to me, because that does happen to mixed kids sometimes, especially around girls, innit? And I think that's where the identity thing comes in. But it's fine, I think, to teach kids.
I think mixed race girls are on an extremely high pedestal.
I got
Yeah,
a question. Yeah,
extremely
I got a question. Do you
Which
think
is not a bad thing, by the way. But
do you think racism is something like that you're kind of either inherit or like born with?
Like I said,
so-
it's definitely inherited.
Inherited. I mean, I don't think a baby can be racist though.
Yeah, but
Can I be?
you know,
I kind of disagree. I
you know
think.
how
Oh, wait,
in
wait,
primary
wait.
school and
Wait,
secondary
wait.
school, you know how in
Wait,
primary
who's
school and secondary school, there's people that's like there's still some sort of racism in primary school and
Yeah.
secondary school. I'm sure, like I've been obviously, I grew up in
Actually-
Packer Minute. I went to like kind of mixed schools as well, and there was like little white kids being racist, and it just made me realize that it's kind of something that's either passed through your parents or like something you're born with. Do you get what I mean?
I hear that.
Like,
Wait,
born-
so
wait,
wait,
So
so
for example, I've never been racist in my life ever. I feel like that's like the worst thing. Like whether it's like to black people or like Indian people or like different people like of different races. I just feel like it's something that shouldn't happen, but there's people that like are racist
And
for
they
no
think it's
reason.
normal.
I hear that. Wait,
And,
so
and
the,
it goes down to a point of like envy as well, and like jealousy.
Yeah.
'Cause if you put it into, remember the World Cup, not the World Cup, the Euros.
Euros, yeah.
yeah,
That was mad.
When like players like Saka, Jadon Sancho, Sterling, they'll do well. They'll get all the praises from like white people, but as soon as they do something bad, it's like they get like racially abused and stuff like that. So it's I feel like it's a thing where it's like envy and just like jealousy
so maybe in that aspect
Yeah,
it is
man.
ingrained in people.
most of the time.
Wait, so what was you gonna say though? Going with it? You were gonna disagree?
Oh, wait, don't disagree with me still.
Why do you make it about you? Yeah, nah. I was gonna say, yeah, I think that it's a bit of like to answer like the initial question. I think racism is a mixture of both being inherited and you're born to inherit it. If that makes sense. So it like only just because of the fact that when we're like it's even down to the education system, innit? So just I don't know, just even circumstances as well.
And that's the aspect I do know what you mean in that you're born to inherit it, because I mean if you're within the line of like people who all believe the same thing, like you're always going to learn it. It's the same way, like
Basically, yeah.
it's just how it works. Like that's just naturally how it's gonna work still.
For me, when it comes to racism, the way I see it, someone that's racist is either A, uneducated, because if you're educated, you're not going to be racist. Let's be real. And if you are educated and racist, it's because you're either ignorant or you've just been brought up in you've been brought up being given this superiority complex.
Yeah. And I think that's the hardest one to get rid of as well.
Yeah.
Because
you're being brought, because there's parents that actually move like that, like
yeah.
Hang on, my son. He's black. He's black.
There's parents that probably move like that. Like, I promise you. Actually, no, let me not say that, because I've never seen it happen.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure there's parents out there who. I think there's parents that will feel some type of way, like let's say a black kid's doing better than their kid in school. Or something like that.
Yeah, definitely.
But I've never seen a real life example of it. But the way I've seen it be portrayed and read about it and stuff like that.
I know what you mean.
I think there's people that do that. So I think it's just if you're brought up with a superiority complex, it's not just with races, with everything. Like if you're brought up with a superiority complex, you look down on people.
And I feel like that's the
But
hardest.
you know what?
I feel like it's the hardest to get rid of because of. I feel like it's the hardest to get rid of because like where you're when it comes to race, like you said, if you're smart enough and if you're genuinely just ignorant, then it's not as much of a problem because you can get information and you can teach yourself about it and acknowledge to yourself that you don't have that information and start learning. Whereas having a superiority complex and growing with it over time is way more difficult because, like you said, you have the superiority complex. So you can get the information. You can get the information about what the reality is, but then it doesn't become about what information you have. It becomes about yourself. It's about accepting that you're a piece of shit right now. Like that's what it's about, accepting. And
I think those are the worst type of racists as well.
Because people can't do that.
I'm trying to rank racists. That's.
I'm gonna say something a bit uncomfortable in it. Ooh. I'd say most people are racist. That's me being honest.
Yeah.
I'd say if you live, even us included here, even if even if you're black yourself, just because of the society you live in, I always think of it like a few minutes. It's really a matter of when it's gonna hit you rather than if it hits you. So it's like, have you guys ever seen the Dole test?
The what?
Dole test?
Dole test, yeah. It's bare sad. It's like they get kids from like 4 to 6.
Yeah.
Sit them down.
Yeah. I remember you
They're
telling
like,
me.
which doll? They have like a black doll and a white doll. They're like, which doll is ugly? Which doll is beautiful? Fam?
Yeah.
I saw that.
They're young, but when you see them say, oh yeah, the ugly one's the black one, it's mad. And you're wondering like, when did they pick this up? They picked this up through TV, films, the way people treat people who look like them. You realize it slowly. Hence why, what Brian was saying, like you can be in primary school when you're seeing people move mad.
Yeah.
That's what's weird, isn't it? Now, I think the thing is, and this is what I would always say, I'd say that the goal for white people, some people might not like me saying this, but this is the only language I'm going to use, to dismantle whiteness within themselves. In the sense that they need to get rid of whiteness in the sense of, I'm white, that means that I'm better than everyone. Nah, man's really English, or man's really from here or from here.
That's the superiority thing.
They need to get rid of that superiority thing that there's attached to whiteness. That whether people realize it or not, they usually access it.
Yeah.
No,
you know what I mean?
In some type of way,
I wrote something like this in my essay because the legal research one, because for me,
Mad. Yeah.
one of the things that I brought up was the fact that like this sense of freedom that we have here, and like as black people, like I like obviously there's been a huge improvement from like 200 years ago, so on and so forth. But I genuinely believe that like we can strive for so much more. But like I don't feel like we're truly free.
Nah, I don't think so. Yeah.
As black people, like, bro, why does my mom have to tell me, like, I have to behave a certain way outside because of my skin color, or like, I have to get through education, not just because, what's it called? Not just because I want to learn, but because of the fact that,
it gives you the most capital in your life.
Yeah, it gives you the most opportunity. And it's like a for white people it's more of like a dog eat dog world. And for black people it's like me against the world type of thing. Yeah.
And even
and
you know what? I think as well when we look, because everyone always thinks of racism as like the small thing between people. It's a lot bigger, because this was also like a global industry at one point. To the point where they're now even like changing historical facts, artifacts. Like there's things, I'll say what I've said in it. You man can go do the history about what the Egyptians look like. Things like that is changed because people making money. Now, if you look at what they're doing to I was about to say Doyle. Doyle's people in it with coltan. Does anyone know what that is or not?
Coltan.
No. That's the thing. Is that not the thing that's in like all the iPhones and that on my trip?
Yeah. That's the reason they're still. It's called neocolonialism, isn't it? They're still there in Africa. They're trying to get all the resources. So iPhones, all of that stuff. It comes from Congo. That's where it's like 80% of it in the world is found there. And they get kids to go and find it. That is why, when we're talking about racism, that's one thing we also need to address. The fact that there's some economic gain behind it. And the economic gain is what fuels people to do things like, let's be real. The slave trade was free slave labor.
Oh yeah.
What's it called? All the West Africans were taken to the West because it was free slave labor, and then they built the system of what's it called? Yeah, these people aren't human, and then eugenics. They built like, the system of these people aren't human. That's why we can use them to do this, and this.
Have you guys
and how
heard
it's
about
gone on to today?
The locked room analogy. Have any of you guys heard about it? It's basically like, let's say there's a man and you put him in a room, and you lock the room, and you don't tell him that the room is locked, but you've locked the room. So he's in this room, and he believes that he's in this room by his own like free will.
Yeah.
So he's chosen to be in this room and whatever. But the reality of this fact is that the room is locked, and that realistically he isn't free. But he's just been put into this room, and he's been made to believe that I have chosen to be in this room and I'm chilling in this room. But realistically, he's actually locked into the room, so he's not actually free. That's how I see
majority of that.
Majority of this situation right now.
I've heard people say that with women as well. To be fair, it's like the way they explain the whole gender gap thing is like, not all women will apply for certain jobs, but that's because it's never marketed to them as their jobs. Right. So like when you hear things like, female doctor, female pilot, female, just if you hear the word female before something, they're trying to tell you that this job is not meant to be for women.
The fact that it's female is a bit dodgy.
So people naturally don't just end up not going for that job because that's what the society is telling them. Like for me, at one point I watched Yo Mishi pedal. I wanted to be into cycling, but I'll be very real, because I was seeing no black people who were cycling. I thought it just wasn't for me, and I dropped it because of that. That is something minor. Now imagine careers. It will affect. Like for what next? Me and Bakri Society, we were doing like mentoring. I was speaking to some of the kids, and I was like, when you man think about university, what do you think about? They're like, white people go there. I was like, what? They're like, white people go there. And I was like, you man serious? They're like, this is we don't do this. The more trivia. Does anyone know where the first ever cesarean section was carried out?
I couldn't tell you, bro.
Uganda. Do you know
I was
when?
gonna say Kenya, you know.
Close, but yeah,
Probably.
Uganda.
Probably like what 1983.
1700s.
Wait. This guy said 1983.
Does anyone know who the founder of what's it called? Like the father of modern medicine is?
Nah.
Paracetamol. No, I'm joking, bro.
Go on.
Imhotep.
Imhotep.
He was Egyptian, and that was time ago.
Yeah, see, I always thought it was Socrates, bro.
Oh man, okay, I thought you were gonna say hypocrites.
Oh yeah,
That
or
was
even them.
hypocrites, yeah.
Or even
That's what
them.
everyone thinks, innit? But when,
Yeah,
as someone, what's it called? I was speaking to some Asian kids and a couple black kids. As I was saying this, and they were like, "Hold on, bruv, why can't I be smart? Because our representation isn't there." And then eventually, like what Bakri said, the whole locked room in it. You think, nah, this is all there is to it. Or even like the allegory of the cave. Anyone ever heard of that one before? You tell people they're in a cave, and they're only looking at the shadows on the wall, and they believe that the shadows are the only thing there. Then one day, when they can finally go out, they find it hard to believe that everything else was there. So when we look at some of the things that, as black people, we can do, they're a shadow of what the full potential can actually be. Now, fam, truthfully, no one's here from Ghana, innit? Kwame Nkrumah, like his goal, he was the first president of Ghana, I believe, or prime minister. I think it's president. He said he wanted to have the United States of Africa under what's it called, scientific socialism, because he believes if Africa united, easily the most powerful continent, easy, no one's touching us. But
I do believe that as well.
to stop that, what do? Neocolonialism. If you see how many, this is going to sound conspiratorial, but this is all true. If you see how many interventions the American government has been in since World War II in Africa, how many governments they've dethroned, stuff like that, like Killmonger, that's what he was doing in the film, innit? He was destabilizing governments.
Yeah, shit.
That's what the CIA do to this day. Certain presidents, Thomas Sankara, the French killed him, right? One of Doyle's
bro,
people.
be careful, you might get like.
I know, innit? They're knocking at my door now. Patrice Lumumba, they got him as well. You know, Bob Marley was considered a threat to American, foreign policy for a while.
Yeah.
And he's just singing, he's just making music.
He's just vibing.
He's making music. But he was on that list. Who else? Nelson Mandela was on there until like the early 2000s. Michael Jackson, Martin Luther King was a felon as well. All these different people. It's all part of the money and the global control, all of that stuff. But that's what I'm gonna say in it, because we'll have another convo off mic.
Yeah.
And what I think the solution is, because I can't say
We need
that.
to
one
wrap
out
this.
here.
We need to wrap this up.
Yeah.
Because we need to do another recording.
Like I said, I don't know the solution personally in it, but we can get into that another time still.
Yeah. Hey, Gordon, you didn't answer the question though. You still haven't answered the question.
I'm not answering the question, bro.
Well, alright, bro. Alright, Sean. It was great having you on here, fam. Pleasure.
Nah,
And you too,
this-
though.
this
Thanks for
is really
dropping by. It's just started
Yeah.
off chatting shit, ended
Hey,
up
you
saying
might-
some profound shit, bro. Like,
Man. No, next time.
but you know,
Yeah, invite me on again soon. I think. Yeah, we actually need to have some anime talk next time. Man.
and them ones, bro. I actually talk about some fucking anime, bro.
Yeah.
Ryan, why did you say it?
But yeah, man. I hope everyone watching enjoyed it. Wait for the next video, innit? In a bit.
Yeah.
I want to say bye in a bit.
Thank you, guys.
Cheers.
I've done watch One Piece.
Peace.
Bye.
Gosh,